Welcome to another episode of Situations and Conversations. I am your host, Renee. Very, very happy to be here with you today, especially because we are going to talk about a very serious situation. I don't know if you're aware, but this month is Lupus Awareness Month. And so my good friend, Kelli Roseta, reached out to me to talk about it because she is one of the founders, or maybe the founder, the creator of an organization called More Than Lupus. So let's get into it. Kelli Roseta, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we can clap for Kelli. She's amazing. Now we go a little ways back. I've interviewed you a couple of times.
Yes.
And this is definitely a situation that's near and dear to your heart. Can you tell everybody a little bit about More Than Lupus?
Sure. Well, More Than Lupus is a multi-ethnic, multi-generational, inclusive lupus organization that's based out of Portland. However, we really try to allow people from all over the world to come together and connect and grow and inspire each other through the peaks and valleys of their lupus journey.
Right, right. So for those who may not be as familiar with lupus as we are, tell everybody what that is.
Sure. So lupus is a chronic inflammatory condition where your body's own natural defense system, your immune system, actually produces antibodies that attack your cells by mistake. And when that happens, they can cause inflammation, tissue damage, organ failure, and at its worst, people can die from lupus.
Yeah, and you know that I know that all too well. I used to call her my baby cousin, but I guess she's not a baby. She's just a younger cousin. We grew up together. And I remember when she was diagnosed with lupus. And we were young, and I was thinking, well, what is that? And her mom, my aunt, was always trying to explain to me that basically she was to say her body is attacking itself. And I thought that was just so strange. And I remember also Ebony being in a lot of pain. And it wasn't anything that you could see. As a kid, you're just like, well, where? I don't get it. I don't understand. And she's like, you don't know. It's like everywhere. And so she started taking steroids. And I have this vivid memory of us playing underneath my grandmother's table. And she had like blown up. Her face was so swollen. And she was almost kind of unrecognizable because she lived in Michigan. I lived in San Francisco. And so I didn't see her all the time. So when I went to visit, I was kind of blown away, and we were under the table playing, and I was like, well, what happened? And, as kids are very inquisitive, and so I didn't know if my questions were being rude or insensitive, but I wanted to know what was happening to my cousin. And then it seems like things started to be okay for a while. She grew up, and I remember Whitney Houston. She met Whitney Houston through Make-A-Wish, and I'll never forget that because I was so jealous. I mean, at the time, ignorant child, I was like, I wish I had lupus so I could meet Whitney. I mean, and then she passed away a couple years ago, and I couldn't believe it because I thought everything seemed fine. She seemed fine. So why is this disease so deadly? Why can it be so deadly?
Yeah, it affects every person differently and uniquely, and that's one of the challenges. People are often delayed with being diagnosed because it's so confusing and so difficult to diagnose. On average, it takes 6 years to get diagnosed with lupus.
6 years?
6 years, and by that time, a lot of the damage has already been done.
Well, what did the doctors think it is if it takes that long? Are there other, like the symptoms mask as other things?
Yes. So lupus primarily affects the skin. It affects the heart, the kidney, the lungs, and the joints.
Okay.
But the primary symptoms are pain and fatigue. And there are so many other conditions and diseases out there that cause pain and fatigue. The other problem is that lupus primarily affects women and disproportionately affects women of color. So there's a lot of other aspects that go into being dismissed in the doctor's office, not feeling validated, being told that maybe it's something psychosomatic, maybe it's hormones, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, when truly they have a condition that's causing harm to their insides and damage can be done.
So then how then do the doctors actually determine that someone is suffering from lupus? Is there a blood test that they finally do, or what is it?
So there's not one single test to determine a lupus diagnosis, it's multiple tests, but they also look at family history and then symptoms. And there's an 11-point criteria that the American College of Rheumatology has established to help aid in diagnosis as well.
11 points. Wow. So this, unfortunately, has been around for a long time. And like you said, it disproportionately affects women of color. I mean, I don't know why that is, but I do know that I know too many people, with lupus, and a lot of them in my circle are women of color, and the age range. So my cousin, I remember the disease going into remission, thinking it was done, it was gone. So that's not the case, though. Does it lay dormant sometimes in the body, and it could just reactivate and reflare up, or what?
Yeah, so lupus is believed to be caused by a combination of genetic predispositions. There's dozens of genetic variances that have been linked to the disease, and then environmental factors. And when that comes together, you have this perfect storm. So it's when that comes out and when that happens, that's when you kind of have to ask those questions.
Yeah, and then I'm starting to think, well, okay, genetic predisposition, if women of color are primarily affected, right? Okay, I get that. But then what's this environmental factors piece? Is there something that we could be doing as a society to eliminate some of these factors that go into people getting lupus?
That's a really great question. Sometimes it's a virus. I know for me, I was 11 years old when I first was diagnosed with lupus, and I had my genetic predisposition. I'm Hispanic, and then it was this Epstein-Barr virus that was actually my lupus catalyst.
What?
So it can be a virus, it can be stress, it can be sometimes hormone fluctuations, and that's the tipping point. That's the proverbial straw that breaks the camel's back. It causes your immune system to turn against itself.
Jeez. And so you've been living with lupus for a lifetime.
Yes, over 30 years.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to tell everybody your age, girl, but that's up to you. That's up to you. But I mean, so how has your journey been?
My journey has been really an interesting one. It's been a lot of peaks and valleys, like you said, same thing with your cousin. Sometimes you're okay and sometimes you're not. When I was first diagnosed, it was not really common to diagnose children. This was 30 years ago.
Right.
So they didn't really know quite what to do with me. So they threw a lot of medications at me to kind of see what would help, what wouldn't. And now with some of the newer medications that came out, 10, 15 years ago, that's allowed me to be a little bit more stable with my disease activity.
Wow. Well, you are not the only person living with lupus. I know that you brought two very fabulous guests with you today, and I can't wait to talk to them. And I'm sure you guys can't wait either. So don't go away. We will be right back with more situations and conversations after a quick break.
We know that we have the beauty and brilliance to positively shape our lives. Unfortunately, racism, continuous displacement, and discrimination have created barriers to our success. So, if you feel invisible and you're not being heard, if the social, emotional, and educational needs of your kids aren't being met, we want you to know we are here. We see you, we hear you. We are ready to walk with you on your journey to success.
Press release marketing is the solution for small business owners wearing way too many hats. This could be overwhelming for any CEO. We suggest you talk to a professional today about outsourcing your marketing campaigns and strategies. To book a complimentary consult, visit www.justpressrelease.com today.
Welcome back to the show. So we are talking Lupus Awareness Month. We are right smack dab in the middle of it. And I have two lovely guests with us today who are going to share their experiences with lupus. I love to welcome to the show. I have the lovely Micah with us, as well as her mother, Shonna. Welcome them, everybody. How you feeling?
Okay.
Okay.
Today.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
I can't tell. I feel like behind the scenes, you've just been talking. Don't stop talking now. Okay, so why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Micah?
Well, my name is Micah. I am 15.
15?
Forgot my own age. I'm in 9th grade. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, 15. Go ahead, girl. Not too far away from being sweet 16.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad to have you here. I really am. Shonna, thank you so much for being here and bringing Micah to the show. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm older than 15. Husband, 2 kids.
Yeah.
Has been the most of my life, and I enjoy Micah. She's a mini version of me, but a much better one. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. I don't know if my mother would ever describe me like that. I don't know. Maybe a little bit on the busier side. But anyway, so Micah, tell us about your journey with lupus. I understand you have lupus?
Yes.
Yes. Tell me about your journey. When did you find that out?
In 6th grade.
Okay.
I was just feeling kind of sick. I was just like throwing up for a while. And I already had stomach problems, so I didn't really think it was a big thing. And went to the doctor, and they said I had stomach flu, and Mom was just like, no. Because I was like swollen in the face and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then just one day after school, it's like, Mom, and I'm like, Mom, this is not the way home. And just like, oh yeah, we're going to the hospital. And I'm like, huh? What?
Okay.
What? And I'm just like, weird. That's just kind of what happened. Like, oh, well. And then I had my blood drawn, and then my sister has lupus, and my blood, it was like similar to hers.
Okay.
I think kind of that's what happened, right? Yeah. And then I just kind of stayed in the hospital for a while.
For a while.
Yeah, just like a few weeks.
Oh, just a few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, to the average person, that sounds like a lifetime. Shonna, what were you thinking at this point?
It was we were numb. We had went through it similarly with our eldest daughter.
Is this Genesis?
Genesis.
Okay, what happened with her?
She passed away last year.
Last year, I'm so sorry
Yeah.
for your loss.
From
lupus?
From lupus. Well, complications from the lupus,
yeah.
pretty much. So when we're in the hospital with Micah, all the doctors were around, and they're saying, well, it looks like it could be lupus. And me and my husband are like, well, do your due diligence, make sure you get all those labs in, and then make sure that, you're taking care of the girls separately. But in the end, we found out that she had lupus as well. So we spent, that was probably about a 3.5-week stint in the hospital.
Now, what was going through your mind? You already had an older daughter with lupus, and then the younger daughter, now she has lupus. Do you have a history of lupus in your family?
No history of lupus on either side.
Just a thing that just came on. Yeah. And did your older daughter have the same symptoms as Micah, the throwing up and the...
No, actually, she was different because we actually thought she had the flu, but she had continued fevers. But with Micah, she had been nauseous for a long time, and the doctors got concerned because she had lost a lot of weight. So we're just thinking, well, she's getting tall pretty fast. But I was like, it is a lot of weight. So when they said, oh, she has the stomach flu, I'm like, no, stomach flu doesn't make you swell up. Right, stomach flu doesn't continue for this long. So we had to take her in.
Can I just say, I am so happy that you advocated for yourself, because I know how difficult it is trying to let a health provider know that instinctively, somehow, some way, that something more is going on here. And I'm not bashing healthcare providers, but too many times we've come across situations, especially with our community, people of color, where we just kind of get the brush off. And that something is up. Something's going on. So that's a lot. I mean, and so last year you lost your daughter, you lost your sister. Again, I'm really sorry about that. How does that make you feel, knowing that you also have lupus too?
It's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
I am like preparing for like kidney transplant and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, dialysis, scary.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to avoid that like at all costs. But yeah, just a little bit scary, but like kind of familiar.
So do you have to take medication every day? What is it like living with lupus? I want the viewers to get a sense of what that's like.
For me, I just have to remember to take my meds every day.
Okay.
And tell my mom like if something's wrong.
So you have to be really in tune with your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any activities that you can't do or you're restricted from with lupus?
I mean, kind of, but not really.
I mean, I already know behind the scenes you don't like to run. You told me that, and guess what? I'm with you there. I'm with you there. But is there anything that the viewer should know in case anybody's wondering if something that they're feeling is could possibly be something like lupus? Anything that you can share?
I can't be in the sun for a long time without like a lot of sunscreen.
Okay.
And even then I still get really tired. And yeah, I run out of energy kind of quickly sometimes.
Well, not mental energy, because you are full of it, girl. You are. You're actually, you can't tell. You're so light and full of like joy. It's just coming off of you. Mom, do you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be going through something like this and to still have this beautiful smile with the lip gloss popping. I see it. You wanted to make sure that mask came off. It's all good. How do you maintain such joy?
I don't know. I'm just happy a
Yeah.
lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, except when I'm not. I mean,
that's the best line ever. I'm just happy all of the time, except when I'm not. I think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people can do that. I think that you sharing your story is really powerful, and I applaud you for coming on. I know you were a little bit nervous, but how are you feeling now? You still good?
I'm okay.
Just okay?
Yeah,
Because I don't want, because the thing is, we have viewer questions. People love to ask questions. As a matter of fact, this is how part of this whole episode came about. Kelli Roseta, she reached out to me, but then I got all these questions about, lupus when I put it out there, and people were like, oh, I want to know about it. So are you guys good to hang out and answer some questions? Yeah? Okay, all right. Okay, well then guess what? Hang tight. We're coming right back with viewer questions. It's Lupus Awareness Month, and I want to give a big old shout out and thanks to Micah and Shonna. We are all coming right back. Don't go away. Situations and Conversations with Renee is sponsored by Black Parent Initiative, learning and growing together so families can thrive. Education Explorers. Parents, with companies starting to bring people back into the office and workspace, count on Education Explorers for safe, quality, reliable, and culturally sound childcare. They have low to no cost spaces available for infants and children up to 4 years old at their 2 locations in Tigard. Contact them online at educationexplorershcc.com or give them a call at 971-266-3646. Furniture and decor provided by Home Place Furniture and Design. Get all your furniture and design needs at Home Place Furniture and Design, with 2 locations in Oregon to serve you. Wardrobe for Renee, that's me, provided by Janelle James Boutique, located at Bridgeport Village in Tigard. Styling services were provided by Dawn Cannon.
Congratulations to Afternoon Live's Renee, honored with the Emmy Award for Best Host.
I want to know, when did you realize that you were more fabulous than others?
Well, again, as a child, because if we were singing in choir, these other people would just be going, wah, wah. And I said, we're going to sing. I wanted to, they're like, okay, Kevin, you're singing a little too loud. You're dancing a little too much. And then also just, in anytime I had an opportunity to perform, or an opportunity to be like, oh my gosh, all attention on me. And it kind of goes back to the way I grew up.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, hanging out with us today on Situations and Conversations. We are back. This is Lupus Awareness Month, in case you are not aware, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. Help you get more aware around lupus. So much so, we have the founder of No More Lupus. Is it No More Lupus?
More Than Lupus.
More Than Lupus. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. More Than Lupus with us. Kelli Roseta is here. We have Shonna and we have Micah. And Micah, I'm looking into your eyes and I'm seeing like that you are ready to take some viewer questions. Are you ready?
yes.
All right. All right. So we do have some viewer questions for you. So we'll take the first one right now.
Hey Trey, a student asked, how does lupus affect your friendships? And do you get bullied?
It doesn't really. Sometimes I can't go places. I mean, that's kind of it. I don't get bullied at all, though.
That's good. Well, praise the Lord for that. Because, a lot of kids get bullied for all sorts of reasons. And I'm glad that you are not impacted in that way. Plus, I mean, look at you. You're just full of joy and light. Anybody that tried that, boy, I tell you, no, I can't do that on TV. All right. All right. Question number 2.
Hey, Trey. A student wrote, with having lupus, does school look different for you? And what could schools do to make it easier for you?
Well, I do miss some days of school. Because I have like infusions and doctor's appointments and stuff. And then I gotta catch up on work, which is a chore. And yeah, this mostly what's different for me.
They don't cut you any slack, huh?
Sometimes.
I think right now with the hybrid, since assignments are online, that's been very helpful because then while the nurse is there, she can be in class. So if schools were more accommodating for students that deal with chronic illness or whatever it is, I think that would be helpful.
You know, that's actually a really good point. I mean, did you have to go to the schools and educate them on what Micah's going through?
Yeah, with our eldest, she was in public school and it was very difficult to get accommodations. So we ended up needing to change to a private school, which is a lot more expensive. But then talking to administration and getting accommodations for them for doctor's appointments to catch up with work. So that was helpful. So the whole hybrid thing, I'm all for.
Right. Do you think you might stay in the hybrid option if it's allowed, staying online?
Yes. Yeah. I went to stay online, and then I don't really trust kids at my school.
You sound just like, oh my gosh, you sound just like my daughter. She said the same thing. She was like, nah, I'm opting for online because I just don't trust that people are going to do what they're supposed to do. And in a situation like yours, I'm sure it's even heightened. Like, I need you to do the things that you're supposed to do. Otherwise, I'm not going to be safe for real. Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you this: no, more than lupus. I keep wanting to say no more lupus.
Well,
maybe that'll be a spin-off organization.
That's what we want. We want no more lupus.
Yeah, no, totally. But with your organization, More Than Lupus, Kelli, is that something that you help do? Like, do you get in and help advocate and help people who are having some struggles around getting even schools or even work to understand what they're going through?
Yes. Well, 2/3 of Americans know little to nothing about lupus, and that includes educators. That includes even some doctor's offices.
Right.
So there's a lot of responsibility put on the patient to advocate for themselves, and you can see that they've done such a fabulous job, and they're inspiring to not just me, but so many people on the community of More Than Lupus. So so what we do is we provide support through programs and events and blogs and resources. And then we also have an advocacy portion and an awareness portion through our social media platforms.
That's awesome. And again, you're based here in Portland, but you are nationwide.
Yes, we have people joining from all over the world on our online support groups. And now everything is virtual. But, you know, we kind of like virtual when you're immunocompromised.
That's
so
true.
we've been able to do a lot through this crazy COVID year online.
That's so important. The work you're doing is so important because I tell you, had I not had, relatives that had lupus, I would probably be in that 2/3 majority of people not knowing anything about the disease either. But that's what this is all about. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Okay, do we have any more questions?
Hey, Trey. A parent wanted to know, what is the best way for a parent to advocate for their child who has lupus?
There's a school portion, there's a family portion, there's a doctor's office portion. I would say with the doctor, ask all the questions. Don't be afraid. If you feel like the answer does not make sense, if you feel like you have been unheard, sometimes doctors with children, they'll pull you to the side and ask, is this the kind of child that wants attention? Defend your child, defend your family. With schools, patience and lots of hard work. There were lots of times where we had to go online and figure out assignments and do teaching at home. Just really be there for your kid. With family members, because family members sometimes like to tell you, all you need to do is
take some Robitussin and she'll be okay.
Don't believe in that disease, or all you need to do is this. Advocate for yourself and your family, and sometimes you might have to distance yourself from people who are not adding to the health And really pouring into your kids when they're already not feeling well. They don't need to defend themselves to grandma and auntie or whoever it is.
Who don't understand.
Yeah, who don't understand or who wants to say, you don't need to take that. No. We, this is what we're doing over here. If you want to do that over there, that's okay.
Right.
We'll love you from afar.
That is so good, though. I think it's really powerful to let people know that it's okay to let some people go, or at least push some distance between you and someone else sometimes, because you do have to take care of yours, you and yours, right? All right, well, we don't have any time for any more viewer questions because I want to make sure that we get to any lupus awareness events that people can participate in. Kelli, what you got?
Well, we've kicked off May with a bang, so we've already had some events, but we do have a really cool event that's happening virtually online where people can go to morethanlupus.com or go to our Facebook page and they can register to watch an online virtual concert with 2 Portland recording artists right here, and it's on Memorial Day.
Nice. Okay, so that is something people can do, and people love free. Just to get in there, just go ahead and type it up and you can participate. But if you can, donate something, right?
Yes.
Like, come on now. Yes. We need to further this movement. Lupus Awareness Month. Give it up, you guys. This is important stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
I always appreciate having you. I think the work that you're doing is important, and it's obviously very necessary to bring awareness to something, as you said, most people don't know about. Lupus is a real thing. It's affecting real people, real families, and it's not okay that we don't know what's going on. And then we have these beautiful superstars over here. Give it up one more time for Micah. Thank you, Micah, for sharing. You've been so wonderful and so brave, and I think that your light is shining right on through the camera, through all of the viewers, and so I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, girl, I do. And Shonna, wow, the strength that comes from you, I think we can all grab from. Anything that we can do to help continue to uplift you so that you can uplift her and more people, let us know. We are now your extended family. You can call us anytime. More family. More family, not the kind that you got to push away, the kind that you can bring close. Right. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you. And I wish you all the best. Stay in touch. And if you get into doing some more musical theater, Micah, let me know because, I'm into that.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Wow. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I mean, this is powerful stuff, and you do need to know more about lupus. Lupus Awareness Month, make sure you go to, and I'm going to get this right, More Than Lupus. Even though we want no more lupus, the organization is More Than Lupus. And you can go to their Facebook pages and all that good stuff and go to the event on Memorial Day. It's going to be fantastic. And I hope that you all learn some more stuff and you can encourage and support other folks. That being said, we're all out of time, and I know that you guys are going to take excellent care of yourselves, but when you do, please take care of someone else. It's also very important. And until we meet again, when you think me, think we. See ya. Thank you, guys.
Situations and Conversations with Renee is sponsored by Black Parent Initiative, growing at the speed of relationships. Education Explorers, culturally sound, quality childcare you can count on. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.